singing, dancing, art, and so much more from guests who keep it real and authentic.
Sasa wewe, nitajuaje hautanihat? It's true that human nature covers us.
So buckle up because this season is about to be epic with me, your one and only host, Susan Bulemi. Keep it locked right here on the Family Faith Show every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. only on Capuchin TV. A very good afternoon to you, our dear viewers, from wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome to the Family Faith Show, right here on Capuchin TV with me, your host, Susan Bulemi. So we've had so many episodes discussing so many different discussions and having different topics under different fields. So today we are going to be discussing on mentorship and how the young people are being connected to role models. With me here in our studio is one guest who I'm going to allow to introduce himself. He's also going to tell us a lot more on what he does and some of the programs that he's leading. And also in the second segment, we are going to be joined by Father Mbatia Jefferson, who is also going to give us his own perspective on today's conversation. Remember, our dear viewer, if you'd like to reach to us, you can always send us an SMS via our SMS number 21760, or you could also leave a comment under our social media handles and your message will be received. Now I'd like to give my guest the opportunity to introduce himself to you, our dear viewer. Welcome.
Good morning, Kenyans. My name is Mike, but official name is Patrick Maina, but guys call me Mike. Mm-hmm. And I work in areas of mindset. Mm-hmm. How to rebrand mindset, how to look at things differently. Because for you to live in this country, in this world, mm-hmm. you must look things differently because we have been geared differently. Yeah. We have a software from our family, secondary school, we have a certain software. Mm-hmm. But when you come now to life, you live. So I work with an organization called Professional Mentors of Africa. Mm-hmm. That's an organization that we've been doing training, mentorships, and various formation. These are our 32 year doing mentorship in this country.
Oh, it's been quite long.
Tunajaribu, mimi ni mzee.
Okay, thank you so much for being here today. And as we proceed, you're going to tell us more about the Professional Mentors of Africa. But before that, mentorship is quite a broad word to use. But according to your own words, according to your own perspective, how would you define mentorship in today's age, especially to the younger generation?
My dear, I am very happy and I'm very inspired to be here to talk about mentorship.
Yeah.
When I came up and when I started using the word mentorship, mm-hmm. people did not understand it, mm-hmm. because I'm a psychologist by profession. Mm-hmm. So I could have called myself, I'm a coach, I'm a counselor. Mm-hmm. But I realized these words are not sinking to people, not only young people. Mm-hmm. And I came to realize counseling is all about sitting there, listening to you, and helping you to answer the question for yourself. Mm-hmm. Coach, I'm not a coach. Harambee Stars ama timu zingine. Coach, you get me because I have a certain skill. Yeah. In life, there's no professor. Mm-hmm. In life, there's nobody who is better than the other one. Yeah. In life, all of us are students. Mm-hmm. So that's why I thought, and I feel deep down in my life, in my heart. That's why even the organization before, Professional Mentors, mm-hmm. was a different name, and we changed the name to Professional Mentors mm-hmm. of Africa. Mm-hmm. Before, we were X-generation trainers. Mm-hmm. And I came to realize it's not about training, mm-hmm. it's about mentorship. Yeah. So mentorship mm-hmm. is picking you mm-hmm. and working with you. I work with you, we share ideas. Mm-hmm. I might be more advanced in this world, but you have something. Mm-hmm. So it's the idea you have, we are working together. Yeah. So to me, mm-hmm. mentorship, I work with you and I put you on my shoulder mm-hmm. and even see further than me. That's why tomorrow you might be the one mentoring me. Mm-hmm. On my aging, you're the one who will be telling me, no, Daddy, you can do this and this.
Yeah.
Guka, you can do this and this.
Yeah.
So mentorship is a process, is a journey that you walk with somebody until it, in all angles, in career, in behavior, in all aspects, in marriage, and especially marriage, we are lacking. That's why young people nowadays, they are out. Because marriage pia zimegonga mawe, so vijana wataenda wapi pia. So to me, mentorship is a journey. It's a process of working together. And anybody can mentor you. Anybody can work with you. Anybody can tell you something. And that's why in mentorship for us, we say the same, closer to counseling, and say, I feel if we can do this. And also, I give you a room. That's why I use open-ended question, not close-ended question. So that I give you a room too. But before, some people have a wrong perception about mentorship. They think it's about talking to the people.
Yeah.
How many times have been talked to even when I was small? I was told, who's got a relationship, I have them. Yeah. We have been told. We are not in the regime of telling. Tumetoka hizo regime za kuambia. Kwanza vijana, kwanza Jay-Z, unawaambia na kusikiza, unapiga story, wanaona hizo stories za jaba. Because it's a time to listen to them. It's a time to have a conversation. When you have a conversation, you reach a level of equilibrium where you can meet and make a decision, both of you. Yeah. So that's what I think.
Okay, and I'd like to mention that I really like your definition of mentorship, because a lot of us, even our viewers, can agree to this, that a lot of people tend to believe that mentorship is about only advice, being given advice about something. But you've said mentorship is a process. It's about walking the journey with someone else who is able to be a good role model to you, right? And also, you've also mentioned that anyone can be a mentor. Absolutely. So what kind of qualities should one have in order to be a good mentor?
The other kuna quality, living positive, changing the way you look. Yeah. You'll get a lady of your age. And I'm very sure in school, there is somebody, you're in the same age, and you can say, this lady helped me. Yeah. This lady alinifanya nikaanza kuona vitu tofauti. Why? Because you have been brought up in a certain family setup. Na ame bring you in a certain setup family. Lakini unaona behavior zake, na zako, kuna vile zinakujenga pia. Na kuna vile unamjenga pia. So on the process, and that's why it must be positive. Positive journey. Yes, it's good sometimes to have somebody and you think of advice. You can give advice, but when you look the advice in today's country, it's all about don't, usifanye hivi, those are ilipito na wakati. And that's why if I have somebody 10 years younger than me, I'll not tell you, baka by examples zile tunapeana on advice, zilipita. Remember one day we were being told, and I did that one day in Nairobi Primary, and I was doing a program of mentorship, and one girl told me, my dad, my guka, used to tell us that when they were reading, they used to put their legs kwa karai the whole night. Alafu wanasoma, that's why they are who they are. Kujichocha nayo, na mimi nikamwambia, ni kweli tulifanya hivyo, na ni uongo. Tulifanya hivyo. All this girl is looking at me, akaniambia, lakini after finishing akaniambia, mate, lakini nikiweka miguu kwa karai the whole night, sindapata pneumonia.
Fair point.
Good, it worked that time. It cannot work today. Give a child an example, at you're talking to this child, how you walk barefooted, atakuchekelea. Daddy kweli ulikuwa mshamba aje. You see, but for us in my age, it made sense. For youth today, it's total different dialogue. So I need to think, how are they thinking? What is the surrounding? What is the environment? How is the environment dictating their position of living? Because the environment today is dictating. The way it's dictating, I want to fit into them. And that's why it's the same as parenting. It's closer. Parenting to me should be a mentorship process. So the qualification of a mentor, just somebody positive, somebody you see that have something that you can, unaweza eager. I love your hair. I love the way you present yourself. I love this and this and this. That person is seeing something positive in you. When that person is seeing something positive in you, then it becomes very easy to journey with. And that's why in mentorship, we have various stages. You can have somebody of your age. And as you with this, as you mentor each other, you also need somebody ambaye ako pale mbele kidogo. Labda hujapata mtoto sasa, kuna mwingine amepata mtoto. So somebody will come. And mentorship was there even in the old time. Wakati mama amepata mtoto, walikuwa wanakuja kumuomea maji to work with, because hujaipata hiyo experience. So they are working with you, and by the time you have the second child, you are a professor. This is all about mentorship, working with someone. Yeah. So I cannot put really that there is these qualifications, but I can say somebody for goodwill and positive thinking for growth. Tuseme tulienda kwa bank, so you are mentoring kwa bank, hiyo ndio fala sasa. So we are talking of something positive based on the society, because also society dictate our ways of living. So that's all about mentorship. That's all about the journey towards.
Okay, so Mike, you mentioned as you were beginning the show, you mentioned that you work with professional mentors of Africa. Maybe if you could elaborate to our viewer more on the organization and what you people do.
In organization, we have grown with the stages. And we started by, we could think about training, we could think about looking things differently. But we have grown in mindset. We have grown the way we look at things. So in Professional Mentors of Africa is a consortium of professions coming together. We have people who are priests there, we have sisters within ourselves, we have KDF within ourselves, we have like the former spokesman KWS, Mr. Gathitu, is part of, with knowledge. Mzee ambaye akona knowledge unakana hivi anakuchambua unafurahia, unaona? So it's a consortium of profession, and what we do, we come with various programs based on how do people react towards anything. We are so much on the rebranding mindset. That's why one day we were invited to give a training to Supreme Court, and they wanted capacity building, but the way we approached it, it was totally different. It's about the mind. It's about the pressure. If I enter to somewhere, maybe I'm a CJ, there's pressure that's surrounding me. How do I manage that pressure? How do I work on that pressure? Some years ago, we did a training to KDF. And we are looking for the civilians working within KDF. KDF have a certain software. They have been trained. They went to RTS. But the civilians within, working with an organization called DEFCO, Defense Forces Canteen, which right now they are calling DEFWIS, is supermarkets. They are serving the soldiers. So these are two different software. Where is the synergy of working together? So we are so much on customer care. We are so much on people in public domain. There's so much people in front office. People will come there mad, they are sick. I remember there's a time we did a 2 years training. It was a course in Madhari Hospital for the nurses. And it came as a result of one day, I was in KU giving a seminar. And an accident happened in Upper Nyayo Stadium. So the guy, vile alitolewa kwa wallet akapatikana kadi, those guys called me. Around saa saba, I dropped down, I took the guy, went to the police, took the guy to the police station, to the Kenyatta. And after that, I was just staying like this. And some people, you know, some things inspires you. Yeah. Kuna wengine wameletwa, you know, ya casualty, wameletwa, and these nurses, niko na patient wangu na ni mgonjwa na, you know, so I should be treated fast. I should be handled fast. Yeah. So kuna mwingine amekuja hapa na huyu nasa amechukua huyu na amewacha wangu. So I get annoyed. Yeah. I'm wondering how. Where is justice? I even come up with the issues of justice and everything. Neither I didn't know later. Okay, later we were served and everything. But nikashiko na kasira hivi, nikaenda nikamuuliza, why did you do this? Seriously. And one guy was listening there and say, let me educate you today. In any accident, when you find somebody is screaming and shouting, probability of life is very high. Akona bado time ya. Ukiona mtu kwa accident haongei, we might be losing this person. So they were so right what they were doing. But as a civilian, I don't know. So I started blaming those people because of the way they are behaving. But my question could be, what could have costed them and tell me, hata kuja mdanganya na vitu wamempima, just to play with my mindset. So from there, I realized, kumbe even nurses and everything, they are handling cases which are challenging. And for us civilian sick people, and I came to realize, kumbe, hakuna mtu sumbua kama mtu mgonjwa. Especially those who are learned. Because you even know, dawa ile unafaa kupewa. So these people, because they are handling delicate people, they need a lot of training on mindset. So that they come and manage me in the best way. They can use reverse psychology, they can do whatever, but I'll feel I'm being served. So how many? And our colleges, they are not handling some critical areas on how to manage human beings. Yeah. Even my wife, I must learn the skill. I must know how to manage when things is like this and when things is like this. Yeah. So when it comes to corporates and everything, that's what we are doing in this country. We were involved in developing the children's government in Kenya. And we were looking, there were prefects, today is student body. And the retired Mr. Karuga told me, no, we can bring this ideology so that we can help these people to realize how can this governor, being a senator, being this, how can it work within the primary level? So we have been looking, things, training, formation based on service. We've also worked a lot with the consolata fathers. And the whole thing is all about people who are front there, people who are in charge, people who are in leadership. Trust me, a lot of training and formation is needed because we are human beings. Yeah.
And just to mention also, the young generation, most of them you find they go through the challenge of mental health issues or mental awareness. Do you probably have a program under
Right now we are really developing a powerful program about men. We have a program called Tuvuke Academy. It's all about rite of passage, but in a very unique way. So we have been looking on boys, and you can say boy child amesaulika. But we came to realize that it's not all about the boy child. It's about the man, the mighty as a man. If the man does not have even skills to nurture this boy, becomes a problem. So we have a program on men to nurture these Jay-Z boys and the girls. So we have Tuvuke Academy that comes every year. Then we have customized programs within institution that they are running. We've been having program in St. Joseph Mukasa Catholic Church, Buru, we have been having there, Ruai, and we're trying to look, within this program, you're looking both boys and girls, and try to look about the 21st century young people. If it's a relationship, we tend to look about vile si tulikatiana kwa moto na everything au nakatiana kwa was up and I was down. So things are different. So lazima pia mimi kama mzae ni tone down to their level to understand where they are for us to start a conversation. So we have various programs and we have many programs within schools. Caravana in Kaendani, we have come up even with a program. We have come up with a program of parenting. And I really salute the sister there because she realized most of the problems that these students are going through, it is 90% ni nyumbani. So we started a program now, it have hit seriously. So we are getting classes, each class, and trying to talk to these parents and see what is the best way of parenting. Because these kids, if you ask a teacher, these kids talk a lot of story. They will tell daddy wali fight jana, they will tell this and this and this. They are going through stress also. They are getting this and this. So as a school, Caravana, we have realized that it is all about the parents' understanding. So as they do their part, also children do their part and the teachers do their part. And again, our programs are CBC approach. To me, CBC is a methodology. It's not about talking to, it's about conversations. It's about conversation, it's about talking, it's about listening. When you listen, then you can address things in the right way. So we have many programs, but many of them are customized. So apart the men's conference, the men's, not the men's conference, the main program that we're coming up with, very soon we'll be launching it, and for men. Then the other one we are doing is about Tuvuke Academy. And Tuvuke Academy is all about a rite of passage. It has various stages. It have 4 stages. So we journey with the boy from the time primary, then goes to the cut, both boys and girls, then go to transformation, kuvuka, then go to secondary, we work with you. Then during Form 4, you graduate and become a TOT. So you come back to us and that's why we have many young people within our organization who are mentors. Because tukienda shule yenyu, and then we have programs within schools. We have been in Mumbi Girls, we have been so many schools in this country. So when we go, we don't go as much, we go as a team. There's a girl who will see you and say, I want to be like you. Ujamuongelesha, but the way you have presented yourself, umemu-inspire. So the moment in our team we have variety of professions, variety of different characters, then we tend to attract more. We have been also having a program with KISE. It's an organization that has scholarships that in Kikuyu. Then apart from that one, also we helped. We are the people behind Kenyatta Trust from the scratch. As an organization, we have worked with Wings to Fly, trying to work and look about what can we do. What methods? We don't have the answer, but together, collectively, we can have the answer. Yeah.
Okay. And you've mentioned quite a number of programs that you people have under your organization. Maybe I would like you to tell us what inspired you to start this journey, because clearly you are handling a lot of things from different areas.
I think what inspired me is I was born in Dandora.
Okay.
Mimi ni mswa ghetto. I was born in Mahadu, Makadara, then from there I went to Dandora. I wanted to become a priest. Sijui nilichanganikiwa wapi. I was an altar boy. We went to Dandora, first altar boys, pioneers. Yeah. Then after that, but I grew with a father. And my dad was a good man, a handsome man. And my mom, she's there, a beautiful lady. Yeah. But as I was growing, my father was talented in karate and boxing, so she used to beat us and beat my mother a lot. So I've seen war in my family on the way. We are 6 of us. In fact, I tell people, within our family, everybody is brown. I'm the only dark person. So maybe I did not belong. So I happened to be the rejected son in my family, not knowing I'll be the cornerstone. Yeah. And on the process, some people, when I was an altar boy, walked with me. And one person that really came to my ground, understood me, was Father James, Holy Cross Fathers. And Father James is one of the guy who looked, who understand. Mimi nilikuwa mpaka DJ bana. Nimetoka mpaka masikio. And this is the guy who journeyed with me and saw a talent in me. I remember one day she sent me to Mary Hill to give a weekend challenge. So Father James and many priests who have worked with me, but in the grassroots, Father James walked with me and I started seeing things differently. So he changed my mindset from the creative person I was outside to really, I was an altar boy, but I was just a puppet. But I saw things differently. You have people, you have worked with them. People like Father Munene in Isiolo, Father Cyril. Those are the guys now we came together. Those things inspired me. Then the late Father Lemod, Bible on the Ground. Many years ago, when he was alive, we happened to go there for a seminar, and after that, Father Raymond walked with me. And that's why we are the pioneer trainers in Bible on the Ground in this country. And we got the information from him. So those are the things that inspired me to be who I am today. So I've been inspired by those. Lastly, the person who made me that I was doing out of talent, then he realized my talent, took me, I was in Kangema giving a seminar. Then after that I was invited to Precious Blood to give a seminar called Come and See. So I meet this beautiful lady called Sister Mary Paul. But that was the superior of Holy, Precious Blood. Yeah. And I'll tell you, the sister saw my talent, took me to Tangaza. Today I'm a Tangaza product. Not even paying even a 10 cent. But marriage to Brother Arabe and Sister Mary Paul made me now to become professional in the area I'm doing than only talent. So that talent, that inspiration, that rejection from home made me to be somebody. But today my father is my best friend. Despite the fact, despite throwing me away and everything, today I have no other father. He's my best guy. Yeah. Because I have to forgive. Yes. Matthew 6:14, I have. He remains to be my father. So that's what inspired me. My journey, my rejection. Yeah. My rejection, I think, inspired me. People might see as a rejection, but I see that God was preparing me for a bigger mission. Yeah. God was making me to be different. I remember one day I was employed in MFI, Metafax International. Hata survive, and I have done computer science. Yeah. I still went back where I am now. And right now we are running Professional Mentors of Africa is an NGO. So our purpose is just to mentor them and everything. And we have many cases similar to us, people who have gone through challenges. And our story becomes testimonial to others. Yeah. That's what the simple as.
I must say your story is quite inspirational.
In fact, nikakwambia story yote yangu utashangaa. My father even threw me away and I was adopted by a family. Oh, wow. By the time Sister Miripola ananipata, I was a prodigal son. I was living in a family somewhere in Kileleshwa ambayo walinipata Holy Family Basilica. I was giving a seminar there. So akaona and I was homeless. Yeah. So nikaishi huko kwao. On the process kumbi Mungu ana mpango ya kila kitu. God yeah. Be God. Yeah, God be God. So I thank God a lot and especially thank God for the Catholic Church. Yeah. Because today what I do, I'm proud because I'm doing things because the Catholic Church was the pillar to me. Yeah. And that's why me I die a Catholic. Sijui aje. Hata church zingine zao ni invite wananiambia, "Are you a normal Catholic?" Naambia damu. Ukikamata damu yangu hivi, Roman positive. Catholic. Yeah. I am proud of my church. I'm proud and my church have made me to go all over this country. Many Africa all over. The Catholic Church have made me to go. Because many sisters, many congregations have called me. I've given seminars to sisters and this. I didn't know I can be that level. Nilikuwa tu kafala kadando. Na watu wanasema kadando ni kwa takataka. What good can come out? Maichi ni mmoja wao. Yeah.
And you're actually inspiring other young people who are watching you and they would like to be like you. So
they're welcome. Yeah. They're welcome. Now, one thing I can tell them, never say die. Never say die. Because anything that we go, if you look many people in the Bible, if you look at many people who have become successful, they have a story to tell. And Father Raymond, I remember him telling me, you must be part of the story of that thing you're going through. If you become part of the story, you accept it. That's a moment of going valley of darkness. Yeah. So you resurrect with that one. So the young people, challenge you're going, whatever you're going, be part of it. And the most important, speak about it. If I did not speak what I'm going through to Father James Brasa, then I could, ningekufa tu huko. But I just spoke. Because I could be very good, a good altar boy outside there. Nimefanya misa, nini, but I'm wounded inside. So many people, young people are wounded, but they need to speak out. Yeah. When you speak out, then, without judging them, don't judge them, listen to them. When you listen, develop a conversation. When you develop that conversation, then you go far. Ukibonga na vijana na umeanza kuambia ati unajua don't boyfriend is bad, is like our mothers who are telling us chunga wanaume ni wabaya na naishi na baba yangu. Kwani baba yangu ni semenya? We need to look at things differently. And look about how do we talk with the young people today. Where are they? So a lot is needed. If you're elderly, a lot of it's needed to study. And that's why I did a degree in sociology of youth studies in Tangaza. Just to study young people. And young people is the pillar of the church. It's the pillar of the country. It's the pillar of the family. I was young once. Na ufala yangu na nikatoka kwa hiyo ufala, sahi at least ufala yangu imeimprove.
Now, Mike, earlier you've talked about the different programs that you have in your organization, like the Tuvuke Academy, parenting, and the others that you mentioned. Now, the question I'd like to ask is, those are quite a number of programs. So what are some of the challenges that you maybe face when trying to coordinate all of them and make sure they are all working?
Now hapo umelenga, because one thing that the biggest challenge I'm going through is because our ideology within the organization is to have many young people who become mentors. Mzee Gavitu have been the spokesman KWS. Amezeka lakini how do we start tapping that knowledge ya mzee? We inculcate it in us and then we pass it. So the challenge we are going through is to get young person like you, get the knowledge we have, inculcate it in you, then you can pass. Monroe once said the worst thing is to go to the grave, and a lot of knowledge are in the grave. So how do we spread this knowledge and the skills we have? That's the most important thing. So one, mentoring young people becomes a challenge. People will come in the office, volunteer and everything. Some will see, some will be hyped and go to another level. Even I've been sitting down with many CEOs, and they're looking about, we need to mentor these young people, we need to do this and this and this. But you come to realize, ule kijana akikuja to be mentored, he is not ready to. He's ready, give me money, I go. Want me? Nifagia hapa, nimefagia. Hata wajitumi. So ukikosa kujituma, people will not see you. Yesu aliuliza watu, who do people say you are? Who do people say I am? So in this mentorship, in this, for all those years, the continuity of people, but I thank God, we have so many who have passed through our programs, who are in big positions, so many in this country. In fact, for us to be called in Supreme Court, it is somebody, wakati Nyeri High walichoma boys, those years, and Father Waroi was there. He called us. When he called us, we as the police were doing their due diligence, as we are doing the mentorship. Not knowing these young people, one became somebody in Supreme Court, a lawyer. And he proposed to my name. And I found myself training the Supreme Court. So, there are those who will embrace, there are those who wataona ni story ya jaba, kuangalia tu hizi ni ufala, na wachana. Another challenge have been going, although I thank God right now, the Consolata fathers, they realize what we are doing. They gave us a very good house in Car West, a house that used to belong to sisters, a 5-bedroom with a compound. Now we do the mentorship there. The same Catholic Church have given, so, and become very easy, and people to, so various challenges were there, and even people to, sometimes we could go to a school. The school could not even facilitate our fare. But we had to go. So we are found like that. Some challenges on finance. But ilifika pahali, not knowing now that from the church angle, we end up now to corporate. Right now we are in corporate, I can assure you with thank God. With thank God. But challenges have been there.
And maybe something else also, how do you manage to reach to, because now you are a big organization, of course, so how do you manage to reach to the people who are maybe in the rural or remote areas and are really interested in being part of the programs that you offer? We
are looking forward to start programs, TV programs. I remember your director, Father told me, we need a 1-hour program here. And because Capuchin, I'm proud of it. We have worked with other media. In fact, other people will find, because other medias will call me on various topics. But one thing that we have found ourselves going up to Mashinani, up to Sega, up to Langala, up to Uko, Baka Isiolo, Bulesa. I think it's because of the network of the Catholic Church. And especially the youth office in ilitusaidia sana to find ourselves there. But now my prayer is for us to come up with a program that can handle really, so that can handle really the issues of the young people in this country. Just talking, just having conversation. Right now, just for information, we are trying to set something. And especially for Mashinani people, one of the radio program, a KBC radio program, that itafikia watu wengi. And we're thinking, kuna mtu akona ka radio pahali tu, but can we have some things that inspires? That's what we're looking. But it's my prayer, very soon we'll be having a big TV show. Just talking about this, just conversation, just translating program from the ground to the studio. Either we can do it there, we do it there, but now young people can start relating. And we have had so many programs here in Capuchin, so that it's reaching people more and more. The other time I was talking with the director of Radio Maria, they were on Moranga, and we're looking about a lot of programs we can do. We can talk things.
Yeah.
So apart from just our church and our faith, the behavior is of paramount importance. And the Catholic Church is in the front line about behavior. Because without behavior, hata nijue Mama Maria, nijue Rosary, nijue hivi, na behavior zangu ni changamoto, then something is wanting. So we are so much on how do we synergize spirituality and social living. Because you're a social being. Social being. Una imagine nilikuwa nikuwe priest. Nilichanganyikiwaje ni society tu. But I tell God and I thank God because kumbe God alitaka niende saidi ya marriage. Na mwingine aende saidi kama Father Mato, Dominicans akaenda saidi. Those are our my best. Akina Father Umosh, wakaenda saidi, na mimi nikabaki saidi, but all of us are serving God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mike, for that. And right now, we'd like us to take a short commercial break, but when we return, you're going to tell us more on maybe what's your vision for the organization and where you see it in the next few years. But as for now, let us take a short commercial break, and as we return, we will have Father Jefferson Batia joining us for the conversation. Well, hello to you, our dear viewers of Capuchin TV, and welcome to the Family Faith Show, whereby we get to interact with the youth in various ways.
Let's stop judging people according to their tribes.
We present to you fresh perspectives, exciting conversations, engaging debates, Bible trivia discussions, showcasing of talents such as singing, dancing, art, and so much more from guests who keep it real and authentic.
Sasa wewe, nitajuaje hautani-hurt? In true gentleman nature, Capsupas,
So buckle up because this season is about to be epic with me, your one and only host, Susan Bulemi. Keep it locked right here on the Family Faith Show every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. only on Capuchin TV. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you came to birth, I consecrated you. I appointed you as prophet to the nations. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. On the 9th of May 2025, Capuchin TV will join the Order of Friars Minor Capuchin, the family, the parish priests, and the Christian community of the Presentation of the Lord Kiangombe Parish in the Catholic Diocese of Moranga for a momentous celebration. The priestly ordination of the Yesan, Brother John Moai. The ordination will take place at the Presentation of the Lord Kiangombe Parish beginning at 10 a.m. The Holy Mass will be presided over by Right Reverend James Maria Wainaina, Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Moranga. This sacred and joyful celebration will be broadcast live on Capuchin TV and also streamed across all our social media platforms, allowing the faithful far and wide to participate in this blessed moment. Brother John Moai's Thanksgiving Mass will be held on the 11th of May at Kianguenyi Local Church, and his home Mass will follow on the 24th of May at Unjiru Village. Capuchin TV congratulates Brother John Moai on this great achievement. Keep watching Capuchin TV, your Catholic identity channel.
Nikaitende kazi yako shambani mwako.
Thank you so much, our dear viewer, for being with us since the beginning until now. And like I had mentioned earlier, we are now joined by Father Jefferson Mbatia, who is also going to be part of today's conversation, and he's going to give us his own perspective on matters mentorship and how the young people are being connected to the right role models. And let me allow him introduce himself to the viewer. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, and I'm really honored and humbled to be here at Capuchin. I formed the faith program by USUS. My name is Father Jefferson Mbatia Mulandi from Daystar University, a student in communication, electronic major media. So I'm happy to be here from the Archdiocese of Mombasa, Jimbo Kuu kabisa hii Kenya. Yeah, the Archdiocese of Mombasa, and so I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for being part of today's panel. And I'd like to begin with my first question. I had actually asked Mike earlier. According to you, what is your perspective, or how would you define mentorship in terms of generally mentorship and also spiritually?
Okay, I think generally mentorship means like molding, you know, or giving people direction, inspiration, and also giving them some form of formation, like forming them with certain values. That is now a mentorship, grooming them to be like good leaders in future, and also trying to model them according to the values that we uphold as Christians, so they can be, for example, servant leaders, yeah, and in the other setup that they can be leaders with integrity, you know. So I think it's an issue of infusing such values to people that makes it generally a mentorship. And if you can see even in the Bible, you see Moses and Joshua. Moses is mentoring Joshua. You see Elijah and Elisha. Elijah is also mentoring Elisha. You also see in the New Testament Paul and Timothy, you know. So, and Jesus Christ himself mentors his disciples, you know, by teaching them by what he did, that they were able to see something that is really inspiring. And that is why you see our greatest mentor, we say, is Jesus Christ. Yeah, because we believe in his values that can bring change and transformation in society. So generally, that is my perspective when it comes to matters mentorship. And even when you go to the philosophical world, by the way, you'll see Socrates and Plato. Yeah, they were also each other's disciple or student. So I want to believe it's something that we all need, because even in the animal kingdom, you can see like male lion will always mentor the young one on how to hunt and those things. So it's generally about imparting skills, values, inspiration to other people's lives, and that way, yeah, forming them to be better people. Yeah.
And Father, I'd also like to ask on top of that, being the fact that you are a priest, and I know a lot of people look up to you, right? Yeah. Maybe how do you manage to balance being a spiritual leader and also being relatable as a mentor or a role model to the young people in the society today?
Okay, first of all, I like being who I am first, you know. I'm Mbatia, that is me. So in as much as I'm a priest, I like also being me, the me that I was born, natural with my characters, personalities. So those ones now, they come and like blended by the gift of the ministry of priesthood. So I think that way, that makes me blend with the people easily, because the me in me remains me, and the priest in me also remains in me. And so that way, it's easy to be able to interact with people. Plus, I personally believe that we need people to journey within life. So there is always that necessity to be able to listen, especially to the young ones, because they need a lot of listening and attention and understanding. And so at that level of understanding also, it makes me that sometimes I have to understand these are young people, and there are some things that they are doing that they need like to be corrected, or sometimes they need to be given an opportunity to try and make mistakes and learn from them, you know. So I also like giving the young people their time to be young also that way, because I wouldn't like them to jump any stage in life. So that way I'm able to balance. Plus, you know, lazima maisha ambayo tunaishi saizi, we have to live the time, catch up with the times. We are now in a digital era, so we have to live with the digital spirit ya majenzi. Yeah. Lazima tuishi nao hivyo, so that we can journey with them. Yeah, that way I believe we can have an opportunity to bring up the young in a way that they also will not find like it's so much binding. Unajua pia wanaboeka rahisi vijana, so ukiwaekea tena mambo mengi ambayo saa zingine hayafurahishi, utakuta wanarudi nyuma. So it needs a lot of understanding generally, yeah, but also being open. Yeah.
Kwa mjanja pia, utabaki peke yako na majenzi. Lazima kuwe mjanja, lazima ingie level yao. Uko na vibe yao, utajibamba. Unaweza kuwa umesema nilibonga nao, nimewaongelesha, lakini ulijiongelesha. So lazima, it's calling for mentor to work hard, to understand the cultural orientation, to understand the time, ndio fit now pia. And
also, just to add on that, because that brings up another question, and I'd like to direct it to you first, Mike. We have the issue of technology. Gen Zs and technology, they work hand in hand. Maybe does your organization or the mentors that you work with, do you maybe teach them or maybe encourage them to adapt more using the technology so that they may be able to reach out to more young people?
In fact, one thing I'm advocating, technology, hata utawafunza, washajua. Unashanga baka mtoi wangu, ni mdogo na hii phone anaioperate baka unashanga. Sijui, it's all about interest. So one, already technologies, utawafunza, already wako ndani. But now it's now to bring the mentorship concept to what stuff are they watching. Umekuja na story kama hii inaitwaje ya tutor. If they lack proper mentorship, they will put any stuff. And that's why in the spiritual world, in the spiritual and social life, we need to mentor them, because they will be carried away and mentored by the world. Now, in the ile side ingine, watu wacha hii side. And if you look in the social media, wameenda the other side sana. We are lacking even, me, I challenge myself, and further, we are lacking even us to get to the same area to speak also.
Yeah, it's something that needs to be addressed, because it's a modern challenge. The usage of the internet, it's a pros and cons. Yeah, it's something that really needs to be addressed. It's part of now mentorship in that matter. Yeah.
Because wako hapo. I even find my house girl, unajua mwanaume ukisema my house girl unashangaa, bibi yangu atashangaa ni mine ama ni wake. Unajua house girl ni wake. Utamkuta usiku ako kwa hizo man. So I think a lot is needed, a lot even for the church and everything to enter, to not to ignore technology, but to embrace the technology the way it is. The media houses to embrace technologies, to look about how can we come up with a program within the same technology. How can we come up with inspiring things within technology? And also even, let me tell you, I remember the time tulikuwa na training hapo Kaa West ya mavijana. And you happen, kwanza tusemeka father ako nao tu mnabambika hivi alafu anachukua. They feel I am part of the story. So even the ones in leadership, our priest and everything, wanafaa waingiane. I remember one thing that nilikuwa tangaza, na kuna the founder of the youth ministry alikuwa Sister Elena. Hakuwa na technology, lakini sisi alitubamba sana because alikuwa anatoa vakani, anavaa tracksuit, anakimbia na sisi huku Karen. Anajogu na sisi. So you can imagine how you find sisterhood as boring. Sister Elena could bring sisterhood as something, you know, is good, it's fun. Tumeruka hivyo, tumepelekwa St. Martin. Na kule tunaenda, the mavazi ni tofauti. Si ati inatoka from the habits and everything, but the occasion we are going, unaona ana fit vizuri sana. So also dynamism zimechange. Ndio tupate hao vijana, ndio God wa inspire more, ama apate inspiration kutoka us na wale wengine who are mentors and everything. A lot of to adapt technology is needed. And also to change our ways, our methodology. We must change.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and I think it's good that this topic has come when we just were celebrating the canonization of Santa Carlos Acutis, you know, that young talented man who documented Eucharistic miracles and was so much devoted with the issues of like sanctifying the internet, because for him he used the internet so much like a channel to share his faith, especially in the Eucharist, in our Mother Mary. And I think that is what like we need now to give our youth as role models. They may know there are guys in their time that were like them, they were in the internet, and that guy was an internet genius, by the way, but he used it in a very constructive way. So it's an issue of telling the youth that there can be a constructive way of using the internet, and there is a destructive way. Yeah, that is why you see even some of these issues of femicide that we have been seeing. Some of them are from bad use of the internet. You know, you find someone in a dating site and you just come and meet up with a stranger, and all those things are happening. People are being conned in the internet. So there is a lot of really education that is needed when it comes to matters of using the internet. Yeah, because the issue of cybersecurity is there, cyberbullying, you know. Like there is a recent case where there was a group that was formed, a gossip group, and now it has ended up tarnishing people's names, and you know, it's an institution. So you can see the damage that the internet can put even to people's personality and character. So there is really a great need for us to evangelize the internet. I think so. That is the word we can use. Yeah, there is some need of some internet evangelization. And we can use the social media tools very well, by the way, for evangelization. Like now we are alive on YouTube, you know, we're going to post it in TikTok and all those areas. So you see, social media is also a very powerful tool for evangelization. And if Paul was able to walk to all those places to spread the gospel, so we have a very efficient tool we can use also. We can be the Pauls, the missionaries of the internet, where as youths, we can be able to use it to decipher something about the gospel. Yeah.
And I think especially for a Catholic church, I think people admire to be Catholic.
Yeah.
I've seen even the internet coming up with the dances, nani dance zetu za church.
Yeah.
Sijui ama ni real ama sio real, sijui ama ni watu fake, but I wish they are our youth.
Yeah.
I wish they were youth way too, because it is bringing another dynamism. Yeah? I wish hata my youth niko na function ya church yenyu maze ipost hapo fanyeni so that we also get to this. And especially we get to this, we cannot run away from this. We need it. And those like our priests and or you're giving seminar somewhere, please don't usikose kusema mambo ya internet. Usikose kusema mambo ya social media, because we keep quiet but they are there.
Yeah, and it can be a big damage.
It's big damage. Bomb, so we need to speak about it. In fact, we need a civic education, serious one, and to know how powerful the media. Because like those some ladies I saw walafu na dance and everything. If you look the likes, that tells us our church iko juu. Our church iko juu, I'm telling you.
But you see, like even, see how the media last week was splashed with the death of Pope Francis.
Absolutely.
You know, and one thing, by the way, and we need to mention, you know, Pope Francis is dubbed the tweeting Pope because he's one of the popes also who opened up to the media. He was always ready to talk to people in the media. I think one time he was taking a flight, I think from Italy to Buenos Aires in Brazil during the World Youth Day, and he had a long interview with the journalists in the plane, showing how he was open also to the internet, and he really used it as a tool of evangelization. You could see him always taking selfies with young people. Yeah, and on the streets, he could allow people take videos with him, and that way the message of the gospel was really diffused through the internet. And the Purple Press during the time of Pope Francis has really done a good work, because we could see even his daily homilies, you know. Yeah. So it is a tool for the time, and we cannot run away from it. It is that net that Jesus is telling us to shushe nyavu, you know. Yeah, we can use that one as our nyavu to fish out the youth there. Yeah.
Unaona, mimi ni mzai.
Yeah.
Nimeform nani? Kwa timu yangu niko na nani? Father nakwambia wewe ndio pia seminar na kuna kijana yang hata bonga swag yao. I'm telling you will cut more. Tusibaki tu ni mimi tu. Ni mimi tu. We need to mentor more, because the young people waingie wakikam to his side. What I influence more.
Yeah, and I think he has used the right time, influence, because that is what they are also they are following influencers. You know, those are the people that are now mentoring people in the society. So we need to encourage our youth to be influencers also. Yeah.
And maybe before we conclude, Father, I would also like to ask you, does the Catholic Church specifically maybe have programs that are helping the young people in mentorship?
Yeah. The church is really trying to equip the youths with their life skills when it comes in many ways, and especially through the PMC, Pontifical Missionary Childhood. You see, it is a very nice program that has been prepared to cater for different levels of youths. So you find that there are those who are junior youths and there are those who are senior youths. And there is a whole syllabus on the material that they go through to move from one stage to another. So that is the perfect model I can give on what the church is doing, especially when it comes to modeling the youth. The PMC is one such powerful program that the church is using for faith formation and human formation, and all kind of mentorship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Maybe now, if you could give us your parting shot as we conclude, and also when you're done, Father, you can go next.
I just want to support further what the church is doing.
Yeah.
Last year we managed to launch the first module in Mombasa on mentorship. Because despite the fact we have come up with a booklet on formation, when vijana wakipatana watafanyaje, and I love the bishop. We really launched it, and now we are in a process of now developing the books and everything, so that the whole Mombasa diocese wana muongozo. So the church is doing a lot. But I want to tell the young people, be ready for mentorship. Be part of that story. Because tomorrow, you will need to mentor another person. You need to walk with somebody. So be part of the story. Let's be liberal. Let's open our mind. Open our mind to look the good things. We've opened our mind for other things, challenging things. Same in mbaya, ni choice yao. But be part of the story of the change.
Okay, thank you so much, Father.
Okay, thank you too for this opportunity, and I really want to believe that it is going to add value to those who are following. I want to believe again that and see that everyone needs a companion in life, someone you can look up to, someone who can be a role model, an icon, you know, someone that you believe in. And so I just want to say on the part of the church that our greatest mentors are the saints, because those are the people who lived a perfect and good life that we can be able to follow their example. And at this juncture, I like to say Pope Francis has really inspired me and has really mentored me, Pope John Paul II, St. Pope John Paul II. So I personally believe in mentorship that comes from the church, but above all, that is grounded on the teachings of Jesus Christ, because he is the greatest mentor. His teachings are the syllabus upon which all other teachings are built upon. So I like to just maybe say, let us be modeled in the form of Jesus Christ. That is the perfect example you can have. Yeah.
Thank Thank you so much. And once again, thank you for the both of you for accepting to be part of today's panel. And I believe our viewers have learned a lot from the both of you. And maybe if I could read feedback that we are getting, we have Fifi Emush, who says he's following. We also have Jael Diana, says she's enjoying today's conversation. We have Boni Boni, who says he's tuned in. And finally, Phyllis Wanjiko, who says she is loving today's topic. And to your viewers, I believe that you've taken away something, you've learned something new from Father Jefferson and also from Mike. And I have been your host, Susan Bulemi. See you next week, same time, same place. Be blessed. Well, hello to you, our dear viewers of Capuchin TV, and welcome to the Family Faith Show, whereby we get to interact with the youth in various ways.
Let's stop judging people according to their tribes.
We present to you fresh perspectives, exciting conversations, engaging debates, Bible trivia discussions, showcasing of talents such as singing, dancing, art, and so much more from guests who keep it real and authentic.
Sasa wewe, nitajuaje hautanihat? In true gentleman nature, Kapasupas,
So buckle up, because this season is about to be epic with me, your one and only host, Susan Bulemi. Keep it locked right here on the Family Faith Show every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. only on Capuchin TV.
For the sake of a sorrowful passion,